What's up, y'all? My name is Devontae, and I'm back at it again with a third video, man. I'm on a roll today, but it's a pretty heavy news. It's pretty a heavy news day today, man. I mean, you got people going out of the way to try to beat up newscasters. You got women trying to dox other dudes because they can't take a fucking joke. You know, it is what it is, man. We got people in the comment section who say to themselves, oh, you know, if he makes a rape joke, the first thing you should do as a rebuttal is to go after him and his family and his home. So therefore, don't you make a rape joke, because if you make a rape joke, oh boy, all the scallywags, they have every right to go after you, and they have every right to break into your home and destroy everything about you. Just this fucking world, bro. We're full of sensitive numbskulls who think words equate to actual physical fucking violence, bro. Like, we are so fucking lost, I swear to God. Like I said, growing up, if someone made an egregious joke to me, either A, it's on a one-on-one tip, which is almost never the case, because never should you have to put your hands on somebody unless they put their hands on you first. Almost 99.9% of the time, the right response is to say something equally egregious or to take it to the next level and say something just as fucking harmful. But you make your point by doing the exact same thing they did to you, not escalating it and putting them and their family at harm's way. I don't understand why people can't understand that. It seems like we live in a world of just people who are that fucking sensitive. Seriously, we honestly live in a world where words are violence. It's so God, dude, it's such a black pill thing. It's so black pill, bro. I swear to God, these people are fucking insane. But with that being said, let's talk about Dynamite tonight, because that's what's on the tap for tonight. That's what we're gonna talk about. We're gonna conclude tonight on a positive note because of all the negative news that came out today. Who am I kidding? My whole fucking channel is negative. This video might be negative for all I know. All right, so we have the AEW World Championship match between Samoa Joe versus Hook. We have the AEW TNT Championship match with Christian Cage versus Goldust. We have the ROH 6-man World Tag Team Championships on the line with the Mogul Embassy taking on Bullet Club Gold, because that's exactly what I needed in my AEW program, right? It's ROH titles being on the fucking line. Yeah, totally, absolutely. I'm perfectly fine with that. You know, God almighty, I hate when they do this shit, bro. WWE does this same retarded shit too, bro. I don't want to see the NXT North American Championship on the line on an episode of Raw or SmackDown. Keep that shit on NXT and keep that ROH shit on ROH. You have championships with the word WWE and AEW inside it. That's where it should be at, okay? That's where it should be at. Personally, I've been saying for the longest, ROH is where it should be at right now, behind the fucking paywall, because no one gives a fuck about ROH. But NXT should take his ass right back down to the fucking Performance Center also, and keep their asses on the Peacock network. That's when they were the best. That's when they were at their best. Putting them on cable television, and then their stars are being called up while being on fucking cable television, while still trying to pretend it's a third brand. It's so fucking retarded and ridiculous. We have NJ versus Deonna Purrazzo with Toni Storm on commentary. Okay, I'm confused by that also. Okay, so is NJ not taking on, is she not the number one contender for the TBS championship? I thought unless they had the match already. I mean, I don't really watch anything else out of Dynamite, so maybe they had the match already. But if not, do you really want to put NJ in that kind of predicament when she's the number one contender for the TBS championship? Or at the very least, maybe she had the match already. I don't know. But even then, she just came out of the title match. You're going to immediately just have her lose to Deonna Purrazzo. There are better ways to get around that. I mean, personally, you could probably have Deonna Purrazzo and Toni Storm, I don't know, have a fucking promo. But that takes away from the wrestling aspect that Tony Khan is fucking obsessed with. Am I right? And apparently the Young Bucks should be here tonight. Now, I will say this card looks a little bit better compared to what it was last week. Not as if that's actually saying much. And we do have Hook and Samoa Joe, so that's something worth looking forward to if they give it some time, if they give it some promo packaging, if they give it some vignettes, they actually promote it throughout the night to get you hyped up to want to see the match. And then, they main event it and they give it like a solid amount of time and they give us some twists and turns in between, because we know Samoa Joe's going to retain the championship belt. It's what's going to happen. What's the angle that's gonna, or is it just gonna be boom, Bob's your uncle, get in, have a standard match, get the fuck out? At least Seth and Jinder Mahal, as boring as that match was, you still had something like a Damian Priest and the Money in the Bank cash in to look forward to. You still had a decent angle, not an angle, but a decent story within the match in itself. Not an angle, not a story as in an angle, a story within the match. Don't confuse that with them being or having storytelling, because that's not my definition of storytelling, okay? Story within the match has nothing to do with story revolving around the match. It feels like people fucking get that confused all the goddamn time, and they want to use that as a way to say that AEW, they tell a bunch of motherfucking story. Fuck out of here. So, any betting odds as far as how tonight's gonna turn out? What am I fucking saying? You guys are watching the video right now, so you know how the fucking show turned out. With that being said, though, let's get directly into the show. Kill me once, kill me twice. Shame on you, twice. I fucked that saying out twice today, didn't I? Fuck it. Let's get into the show. Oh man, oh man. I will never. It ceases to amaze me. Who are the producers for these matches, bro? I gotta ask. I really gotta ask. Who are the producers for these matches? Now, I love Christian. I love Goldust. I grew up on both of them. As a matter of fact, it's funny. I'm watching them wrestle and I'm thinking to myself, holy shit, is that the TNT Championship or is that the European Championship? Had to look at my cell phone. I'm like, yeah, it's January 17th, 2024. Okay, just want to make sure I got to understand that. I thought this was January 17th, 2002 for a second. So, kudos on them for keeping up with their stamina, keeping up with their pacing. And, Goldust and Christian, they age like fine wine. The performers in themselves, as far as executing what they have to get done, is amazing. And I guarantee you, we already know what Christian can do as far as a character is considered and as far as the microphone work is considered to push a character, to push an angle. Christian's a veteran. Goldust is a veteran. I know Goldust still has it in him to have killer matches also, to have killer angles also, because he's Goldust. He's done it plenty of times in the past, during the Attitude Era, the Ruthless Aggression Era, the New Generation Era. Hell, if you want to go back to WCW when he was the Natural back in 1991, you can go all the way back there. They've both been doing it a combined total of how many years now? Christian has about 30 years in the game. Goldust has about 35 years in the game. Both of them combined equate to nearly 70 years of experience, okay? I understand at the end of the day that both of those guys are fucking awesome. Christian is one half of my second favorite tag team of all time, and Edge and Christian, and I got a lot of love for Goldust. I love Goldust. Awesome work. Love him to death. What the fuck was this? What the fuck was that finish in particular? Because the match in itself wasn't really that bad. People may be all, I hate the outside interference. It was overbooked because of, Nick Wayne getting involved and Luchasaurus getting involved. Folks, it's called building a match. It's called building suspense. Not every fucking match has to be a Kenny Omega and a Kazuchika Okada 1 hour fucking special with guys just doing moves over and over and over and over again with barely any fucking selling, okay? We like to have things put into the match. You guys like to say AEW likes to do a bunch of storytelling, right? That in itself, that aspect right there in regards to the match in itself, that's storytelling, okay? To sit here on your high horse to pretend that, we just need nothing but fucking moves to happen over and over and over and over and over again without any kind of suspense involved in the match is just ludicrous to me. And I see so many fans make this dumbass argument all the time. It's fucking stupid, and I would never understand it. But to the point of that finish, what the fuck, bro? What the fuck? Maybe, just maybe, I'll say this. If, and this is just my opinion, if you had Goldust, and people may be like, he's telling a story on Collision. He's telling a story on Rampage, Devontae. Maybe you need to go watch Goldust and follow him on social media. No, I'm not going to do that, okay? It's up to you, Tony Khan. It's up to the producers. It's up to the people who are building up the show to give me something to sink my teeth into in regards to caring about these characters, right? Hold on for a second. I see Chris Jericho. That was a decent promo. Got Evan Bourne, or what's his name, Matt Sydal. I know him as Evan Bourne though. He came into, like, you had Jericho essentially, because they were talking about the whole Battle of the Belts street fight match with Sammy and Jericho taking on Ricky Starks and Wild Bill Hiccup. And okay, fine. I didn't watch Battle of the Belts. It looked like a fine match, or I guess a stereotypical AEW match. And you had Will Hobbs and Takeshita get involved. The fucking, what are they calling it? The Dog Callis family. They got involved and they screwed them out of the match, which, okay, whatever. You had Jericho cut a pretty nice promo, you know, a pretty stereotypical Jericho promo for the most part. He seemed pretty fired up. I noticed that the volume was a little bit low in that promo segment, only because, well, the crowd essentially popped, and you can clearly hear some subtle NDA chants. You can clearly hear that they turned down the volume, which is, that's okay, I guess. Child, I guess, right? Fuck. Well, okay, you had Evan Bourne, and he, like, challenged Jericho to a match, and Jericho said he's gonna take him on Rampage, whatever. Getting back to this match with Christian and Goldust, though, the finish essentially came when you had Christian. He hit, so, like, again, all the guys that were getting involved, the Dinosaur, fucking Nick Wayne, and everybody were getting involved in the match. It got to a point where Goldust, he got a little spot saying he hit him with the unnatural kick, you know, the what does he used to call it in WWE when, you know, the fucking putting your legs on the ropes and he kicks you in the nuts? I forgot what he used to call it in WWE. The curtain call is the finish, right? The Devon Dudley finish when he lifts you up and does like a reverse DDT. That's the curtain call. I forgot what he used to call the kick in the nuts spot. Whatever they call. I think they actually call it the Golden Globes or whatever, which is funny because Goldust isn't doing a Hollywood gimmick anymore. I'm just calling him Goldust because that's how I know him as. You know, he's Dustin Rhodes, but I know him as Goldust. But this is the part that I have a problem with. Christian hits him with an unprettier, right? Mind you, all the distractions, all the shit. Christian hit him with a spear, and he hit him with an unprettier, and Goldust kicked out. I don't have a problem with someone of the stature of Goldust. I mean, maybe some of the youngins might not know, but, you know, Goldust is a Hall of Fame talent. Former Intercontinental Champion, former Hardcore Champion, former multiple tag team champion. Can't really go back to tell you his WCW analytics because I'm not too familiar with what Goldust accomplished in WCW when he was Dustin Rhodes. But I can tell you in WWE, Intercontinental Champion, Tag Team Champion, Hardcore Champion, off rip. And not to mention, he's been in a bunch of rivalries, you know, some core rivalries with people like Roddy Piper, people like The Undertaker, people like Triple H when he was Hunter Hearst Helmsley. He fought for the WWE Championship also against Shawn Michaels in '96. I don't have a problem seeing Goldust in this way, but what am I supposed to sink my teeth into? You're supposed to be promoting all this stuff to get us hyped up for a Goldust story on Dynamite when everybody's going to be watching. And I don't mean everybody as in your sycophant dumbass fans. I mean everybody, you know, the actual mainstream audience. I know people hate that word. Ooh, mainstream. Ooh, what about it? Don't worry about the mainstream, Devontae. No, I'm worried about the mainstream because that's my metric as far as having to gauge what the fuck is going on and what the fuck is popular. I'm sorry. He kicked out the unprettier, which I thought was stupid, and it took Christian to do it again. He did the Foley finish, and it's like, no, Goldust at this point in time does not deserve the Foley finish. Like, he didn't do anything in regards to building up a story strong enough for me to think he needs a Foley finish. Like, to do that, it just kills the credibility of Christian's finisher. I mean, not as if that's saying anything, because AEW and finishers, I mean, it's like oil and water. One sinks to the bottom and the other sinks to the fucking top. They don't know the difference anyways, but it wasn't even so much of a bad match as much as it was like I just don't understand AEW feeling like they have to put people over in the most ridiculous of fucking ways, bro. And again, for the people who are going to probably be like, whoa, Devontae, if you follow any of Goldust's story, you will understand that this was actually warranted. No, that doesn't work for me, brother. That doesn't work for me, brother. I'm gonna need some reasoning that's on the show that, you know, the flagship show that, you know, that's usually being promoted. This isn't SmackDown and Raw, okay? Both shows aren't what we consider the flagship show. No. The flagship show is Dynamite, so maybe promote, you know, what the fuck is going on with Goldust to see that he's warranted that type of aspect of a finish on Dynamite. Not to mention, no more talking about Edge. I guess that's just it. We're gonna have the match kill it. Another show and another match where the fucking priorities in regards to angles don't fucking matter. It's all about the motherfucking matches, right? Let's get back to the show. I see Orange Cassidy in the ring doing what Orange Cassidy stuff, right? Let's go. That right there. See, bro, that's the kind of, bro, that's what I'm fucking talking about, man. That's what I like to see, bro. That was fucking awesome. That's going to be one of my favorite segments of the entire fucking year, just from seeing that. Now, if you guys follow the channel, unfortunately, you know, last year, and you don't have to follow my channel in particular. I mean, it was all over wrestling news. Unfortunately, as we all know, Jay Briscoe, he passed on to another life. He went home, got into a car accident, and he passed on. And he had his daughters in the truck with him, and they were severely injured. I think one of them had a messed up leg, and the other one had a horrific back injury. And if you guys remember, for like a whole week, I was making like multiple, like 5, 6, 7 community posts, like every single day that entire week, giving you guys updates on his daughters. I don't know if you guys remember that. It was a year ago around this time, man. And I remember I was just telling you guys over and over again, okay, this is what's going on, this was going on, this was going on, this was going on. But we never got a legitimate conclusion. All we knew is that they eventually left the hospital. That was my last community post I gave on the situation, that they left the hospital. And, you know, now that I think about it, one of my biggest regrets, I wish I would have followed up on that. I should have made that a video. I very much should have made that a video, and I very, very much regret not doing that, because, you know, I got a young son and a young daughter myself, so it really, really hit home for me watching them in that situation. Because man, honest to God, if something happened to my kids, I'd probably self-delete myself. I wouldn't even want to live anymore, bro, honestly. So to see Jay Briscoe, you know, on the Titantron, and seeing Mark Briscoe come out and he cut that promo, and, you know, he was just kind of giving us the rundown, obviously, on all the horrific news that happened last year surrounding Jay and everything that, you know, that happened with Jay Briscoe and his family. And you can see his family, they're all ringside. I see Jay Briscoe's wife, or I guess, unfortunately, his widow. I see his father, you know, the referee for the Barnyard match in ROH a couple of years ago. And Mark Briscoe gave one of the greatest goddamn pop promos for me personally I've ever experienced in wrestling. I popped so goddamn hard. His daughters came out walking. Like, I knew they were okay because they left the hospital, but they came out, they were smiling, they're hugging everybody, they're walking, they're good, they're normal, they're perfect. Mark Briscoe even noted the fact, and I noted this also in the community post last year, that I think it was the oldest one, if I'm not mistaken. The youngest one, she had injuries, but it wasn't as horrific as the oldest one, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm mistaken, please someone correct me in the comment section. I think she was the one with the messed up back, if I'm not mistaken, right? You know, he was like one of the daughters, his nieces, she wasn't going to be able to walk again. And she came out, and both girls were perfectly fine. They're perfectly healthy. And that's awesome to see. That really, 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 really touched me. And I just thought that was fucking awesome. I really, really popped huge for that. That was more personal for me than anything else. I mean, I know some people may be like, oh, you know, they're celebrities in the end of the day. Who cares? Yada, 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 yada. Bro, there are kids involved in the end of the day. I mean, with all due respect to the late, great Jay Briscoe, put him to the side for a second. I think he will want me to say this also. Jay is unfortunately no longer here. He's with God right now. His daughters are, though, they're here. They're breathing, and they're healthy. And even though everything that came out of this was horrible with Jay, I'm happy to know that his daughters are fine. And that was just a dope ass segment. I really, really, really appreciated that. And once again, rest in peace, Jay Briscoe. And y'all go show Mark Briscoe some love, man. I'm pretty sure he's been giving it all day today. Go show him some love. Go show his daughters, or his nieces, and his daughters for that matter. Show his family some love. Show the whole Briscoe family some love, man. Go do that, man. That was a dope ass 7 though. Really, really touched me. I really, really enjoyed that. Good on Tony Khan for letting him get some airtime doing that also too. That was just really, really fucking dope. Oh, actually, hang on for a second. I was gonna end that anyways, but I see Renee Patty Kate talking to the Young Bucks right now. So let's see that real quick, and then I'll talk about the Orange Cassidy stuff. You know what? I'm okay with that promo. I'm actually okay with that promo. I like stuff like that. They're actually leaning into their douchiness. They're actually leaning into their bullshit ways. They're actually leaning into the nonsense. I like it. I like this version of the Young Bucks. You are douchebags in real life. You are hateable, detestable assholes in real life. Nobody likes you. You are bastards. You are sissies. No one cares for your bullshit. So I'm perfectly fine with that. I'm perfectly okay with them actually just leaning into who they really are. I like it a lot. They're like talking about, because Renee Patty Cake, she brought up all the dirt sheet news over the past few years with the Young Bucks, and they're trying to justify their actions and justify, whether or not we should be leaning into the rumors and stuff like that, and why they get all angry when people come to them about rumors and yada 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 yada. All these innuendo shots at CM Punk about him being cancer in the locker room. Just a bunch of inside gobbledygook that if you don't follow the dirt sheets, you have no fucking clue what they're talking about. But luckily, it's AEW and everybody knows what the fuck they're talking about and what the fuck they're discussing. So I like how they're leaning into all that. I like how when Renee Patty Cake asked them, okay, so are you essentially calling out Sting and Darby Allin? And they were like, no, it's not too... We're calling out Sting, but it's not as if we have a problem with Sting. He's a role model. He has the legacy that we will hope to have one of these days. We want to be talked in the same light as Sting. That's never gonna happen, you losers. But, and I like this line because it's so fucking delusional and it's so lacking of self-awareness that I don't think they... And maybe it could just be a character. It probably could just be a character thing. But I hope they don't really think... Because it seems as if they're actually leaning into who they really are as people. And I hope they don't really actually think this delusional thing. Because the Young Bucks... let me remind you that you guys are pushing 40 right now. Because they were like... When we started this company, Renee Patty Cake, you weren't there, so you wouldn't understand. We had this vision, this philosophy that it was out with the old and end with the new. We spit in the face of tradition. No, you didn't. You pretty much just did the traditional thing, and you just times it by 10 and went completely overboard with what tradition happens to be in professional wrestling then and now. So please miss me with that bullshit. But they were essentially saying we don't have a problem with Sting, but yeah, in order for us to... essentially what they're saying is we need to retire him because we need to focus on young talent. That's essentially the logic and the graphs you get coming out of this promo. But again, the lacking of self-awareness. Young Bucks, your bodies are also beaten down. Young Bucks, you are also pushing 40 years old. It was very reminiscent. It kind of reminded me of the whole little... I mean, obviously, it doesn't have anything in comparison in regards to the angle or the promo that was taking place, but it kind of gave me the same type of sentiments. When, I don't know if you guys remember this promo, maybe you weren't born at the time, maybe you didn't really care to go back to go watch this in WCW. There was a promo, it's kind of infamous at this point because Arn Anderson was actually legitimately pissed off about this, where you had the NWO, it was Nash, it was Pac, it was two more people in the ring, and they were making fun of the Four Horsemen, right? And Kevin Nash, he was impersonating Arn Anderson. And essentially, the whole thing was supposed to be picking on them for being old, right? But the whole time I'm listening to that promo, I'm just thinking to myself, Nash, this is like, what, 1987? So Kevin Nash has got to be pushing. If he's not, he's like in his probably around the same age as the Young Bucks, like in his late 30s. And I'm thinking to myself, like, Nash, you're old also, bro. Why are you talking as if, like, they're dying? Like, you're not a dinosaur. You're a dinosaur, too. The Young Bucks, your dinosaur is also. Now, granted, you move better than a Kevin Nash. Not that that's really saying a lot, but your dinosaur is also. You're not quite dinosaur level as Sting, but your dinosaur is also. When I think of young talent, I think of people in NXT. You know what I mean? I think of the Nick Waynes of the world. That promo would make more sense if a Nick Wayne was cutting in versus a Young Bucks. But again, if this is all a part of their delusional character dynamics that they're trying to put across, then I'm okay with that. But if this is their actual sentiments as far as what they believe from a philosophy standpoint, having the respect for Sting, but believing that he's too old to be in the promotion versus what they are currently in right now, then again, they're completely and utterly fucking delusional. And I will say, bravo. Play into that character, because that's what a heel is supposed to do. You're not supposed to be likable. We're supposed to detest you. I cannot wait to see Sting kick their ass. That's what you're supposed to do as a heel. And to that, I will say bravo to the Young Bucks if that's what they're trying to put across. I actually appreciate that, believe it or not. I mean, what they're saying is complete horse cockery. It's complete and utter bullshit, but that's what a heel is supposed to be. Not speaking the truth to get the crowd on their side, but saying delusional shit and a bunch of lies, because that's what bad guys do. I know, right? Shocking. Now, let's kind of revert a little bit back earlier on. You had the 6-man tag match with Orange Cassidy and, or actually, it wasn't a 6, it was actually a regular tag team match. Because I think, what's his name? Not Trent Beretta, but, the other fucker. What the hell is his name again? Who cares? I forgot his fucking name. It seems like every goddamn time I see him, he's injured for something, right? But apparently it was a 6-man regular tag match with Orange Cassidy, Trent Beretta versus the Lucha Brothers, or maybe it was Commander in the match. I don't know. It seems like he's always fucking injured also, fucking Ray Phoenix. But who cares about the match? It was a regular AEW match. My thing that I actually liked about this was that, okay, just like the Sting thing, they're building their matches and they're getting themselves prepared for Revolution. That's a good thing. I like to see stuff like that. Build it up right now so it doesn't just feel like you're putting it on the card for the sake of putting it on the card. That's filler, right? You had Roderick Strong come out and you had the rest of the Kingdom come out. It looked like they were about to attack the guys in the ring, but instead they went back and forth on the microphone. Roderick Strong, he's talking about how he wants the AEW International Championship, how essentially Orange Cassidy is trying to duck him. Orange Cassidy, he's trying to take the microphone out of his hand and Roderick Strong is not letting him. Instead, he wants to be the one to dictate how this goes, which is good. That's fine. Again, hills being hills. I like that. I like that a lot. And essentially, they're just setting up for the match going into Revolution. It wasn't anything that was great as far as the stuff that they were saying, but it's just the fundamentals that I actually do like. That's good. Build up on that. Do more of that. No one cares all about your in-ring bullshit if there's no reason to care about your in-ring bullshit. Give me a reason to care. And doing stuff like this, letting me know that this is going to be 2 months from now, or I guess a month and a half, and essentially saying that we're going to start building it up right now, that's good. You have 6 weeks to get me invested. Can you do it? We'll see, but that's a good start. Both of these promos, I like them. The matches in themselves, don't give a shit about. But that's another story for another time, right? No, it's not. I fucking hate AEW matches. There you go. That's a story, and that's the time we're going to say it right there. But with that being said, we have this match going on right now with the Mogul Embassy versus... Who the fuck is that in the ring? I can't even tell. Oh, yeah, the Gun Club. Yawn! Okay, continuing on with the show. Let's go. Alright, so we have a women's match coming up next, so you guys know what that means. Shit break! But before we actually go take a shit, not you, me, don't come in my bathroom, I'll get you arrested. I promise you I'll get you arrested. Come in my bathroom if you want to. I will get you arrested. Now, granted, the cops won't listen to me because I'm black, but that's perfectly fine. That's okay, because if you're black, we kind of equal each other out. But if you're white, I won't call the police on you, because calling the police on you is essentially calling the police on myself. But regardless, though, we had the 6-man tag match with the Gun Club and the Bang Bang Gang Young Blood, the Bang Bang Gang, and the fucking Mobile Embassy. Like, you know, I'll say this. I don't mind the 6-man tag match. I just still don't understand the fact as to why we're having ROH stuff on the show. I said this early on in the intro. Like, I wish they would quit it with this shit. Is even AEW fans okay with this? I gotta think that they themselves, do they like this? Do they like having ROH stuff put on AEW? I never really take the ROH champions seriously anyways, though. It's like, I don't know, it kind of just undermines it undermines the brand in itself, whether it's ROH undermining itself because it's on AEW, or, you know, the fact that, like, the talents is kind of like saying, well, kind of like a consolation prize, if you will. That's the kind of feeling that I get when I see stuff like that. Because, like, think about it. You got a guy like Carmelo Hayes, for an example, because, again, I don't like it when NXT does it on WWE either. You have a guy like Carmelo Hayes who's a former NXT world champion, right? And it's like his first action of business when coming on the SmackDown is to go directly after the mid-card champion. That's where they see that. They see the NXT championship one step below the mid-card championship, as it should be, because it's a developmental brand. Just like I look at ROH for the most part. I wouldn't call it a developmental brand on the same wavelength as WWE, because they have a bunch of new talents, and the talents that are on ROH are just essentially, you know, they're groomed veterans for the most part. It's just one of those things where it's like, it's like such a fucking consolation prize. But nevertheless, though, the Gun Club, they did win the ROH Tag Team Championship belts with a little bit of an assist from Anthony Bowens from the Ascension. What were they called again? Not the Ascension. That's the other guys, right? Yeah. Now, what the fuck are their names again? The Acclaim. There we go. And apparently now they have like a little bit of a thing going on where they're 6-man tag team champions because, you know, their 6-man tag team championships actually matter more because they're AEW 6-man tag team champions. And then you have the consolation prize 6-man tag team champions with Jay White, the guy who just main evented with MJF for the world championship. I know, it makes no sense whatsoever from a booking perspective, but what are you going to do? It's AEW in the end of the day, right? And it is what it is. If that's the story that they want to tell going forward, then that's fine. That's cool. It's okay. I don't mind that at all, really. It is what it is in the end of the day. Just one of those things that just bugs the fuck out of me. Why are we kind of doing this? But, you know, it is what it is. I see Toni Storm coming out, though, so that's fine. We got the women match coming up in a little bit. I really don't care for this, but Toni Storm, bakery goods, I get to look at it. That's all good. Oh, no, she's wearing a dress. Now I really don't give a shit about this match. Fuck. All right, let's continue on with the show. Let's go. Come on. Oh, and by the way, I seen a commercial with Ludacris. They're doing like this, you know, the whole little State Farm insurance thing. Like your new neighbor, State Farm is there, which I never understood the jingle because why is my neighbor here? I don't talk to my neighbors, but fine. God damn, Ludacris grew his braids back out again. Either that's AI or holy shit, black don't crack at all. Ludacris looks just like he did back in 2001. Holy fuck. I gotta get some of his background music too for my channel. Oh yeah, and the Bang Bang Gang Club guys, is that a new theme for them also? I don't remember them having that theme. Their theme song, since I said that I would use it for the background. Stupid ass shit. God damn it! No! You can't do this! No, wait. I hit the control by accident. Don't listen. Copyright. Alright, there we go. Cool. Didn't want to get copyright, folks. I had to turn off my TV. I fucking dropped my controller on the floor and it turned up the volume. Sorry about that. Hopefully YouTube doesn't catch that and kill me for it. But yeah, good stuff so far. I mean, this is probably one of the better shows I've seen so far, so we'll just continue going forward. But yeah, I gotta get some Ludacris background music. I guess it's kind of like what I'm saying here. Sticky AK. Ooh. Alright, that was a solid main event. Can't even front. The crowd was really hot for this match. Everybody played their part. Now, granted, there were some things about this match that I absolutely fucking despised, but overall, this was a solid match. This was a good match. Now, before I talk about the match, I would be remiss if I didn't touch on some of the previous stuff, as you probably see in the description box. No, I did not give a shit about the women's match. No, I did not give a shit about the tag team match. But I will say Toni Storm being out there was awesome. I wish I was Luther. I probably would have turned her around the other way, put her in the powerbomb position, and then walk with her back to the aisle that way. Devonta, you can't see while walking. You think I want to see while walking? That's adorable. How old are you? Like fucking 8? That's good. You're adorable. And then the tag team match. Again, just another stereotypical AEW match. But I will say the finish with, what's his name? Isaiah Cassidy holding on to the ropes. You know, that Shatter Dreams! That's the Goldust kicking the nuts move. Okay, cool. Sorry about that. I'm sorry. But yeah, you know, Isaiah Cassidy holding on to the ropes and essentially a little bit of a character development. I like it. It's fine. It is what it is. You know, at least you got something coming out of the match. You know, you don't very much get a lot of stuff coming out of AEW matches. It's pretty much just the match in itself, and that's pretty much it. Bob's your fucking uncle, right? But then we get to this match right here with Samoa Joe and Hook. And I will say, they did a pretty decent job building up the match throughout the night. You got some promo packages. Also, I will say this too. You got a promo package with Sting and Darby Allin. That was pretty good also. But the promo package was Samoa Joe and Hook building up to the match. You had Swerve Strickland. He had an interview backstage. You had, what's his name? Hangman Adam Page. He had an interview backstage earlier on the night saying that they were going to watch the match. And then you get to the match in itself. I like how Hook, you know, was his demeanor, his character. My only problem with Hook is just his physique. He has the definition, but goddamn, bro, he needs to bulk up just a little bit. If he was a little bit more bulkier, I would not mind at all. You know, Hook going for a world championship, Hook doing this, Hook doing that. His definition is good, but his size just really takes me out of it, man. It really, really does take me out of it. And that's one of my problems that I had going into this match, and it was one of my problems with this match. The selling, just based off of Hook's size and Samoa Joe's size. I know they're trying to build him up like a badass, but there are some things you can do as far as your disbelief is. It's hard to explain. It's like your disbelief within professional wrestling. It can only go so far. You can only stretch it so much. And Hook's size correlating with how, or conflating, I guess, with how he actually conducted himself in the match tonight, it just didn't mix well to me. I didn't like that at all. The competition in the match and the story within the match was good. Obviously, the whole entire match, you had Hook playing the underdog role. It was one gnarly fucking spot when Samoa Joe didn't quite get Hook all the way on the announcement table, and like he hit him with a spinning uranagi through the fucking announcement table, but like, you know, his body didn't go through it. The back of his head hit the announcer table, and then the table kind of delayed and broke. I mean, it was kind of a botch a little tiny bit, but it wasn't a botch that was like noticeable if you know, didn't pay attention too much, but it was definitely a botch with the delayed announcement table. That kind of sucked a little bit. And again, Hook taking that spot on the back of his head did not look good at all. They kind of recovered for it. You know, Samoa Joe powerbombed him on the apron after Hook stuck his middle finger at him when he was trying to get up, and Samoa Joe just beat the shit out of this boy. Taz took off his headset. I thought he was going to go check on Hook, but he just stood there. Don't know what that was all about, but okay. They go into the ring, and Hook, he got some heat. You know, he tried to build up some momentum, hit him with a couple of T-bone suplexes and whatnot. And it was one spot when Samoa Joe, before this even happened, when Samoa Joe hit him with the Muscle Buster and Hook kicked out at a 1 count, which I fucking hated. I fucking hated that spot so goddamn much. That is the same move as to why Tyson Kidd isn't a professional wrestler anymore, and Hook kicked out of it at the count of 1. That really bugged the shit out of me. I did not like that spot at all. I can't even front with you guys. I despise that spot. But continuing on, you know, like Hook tried to lock in the Red Rum finisher. He does, like his little version of the Coquina Clutch. Well, I guess the Red Rum is the Taz mission. Coquina Clutch, Taz mission, same thing. But Samoa Joe immediately reversed that into his own Coquina Clutch, and he pretty much choked out Hook. Hook didn't even tap out. He did the whole 3-arm thing, and, you know, Hook, he got the arm drop for the 3rd time, and he lost. Don't really see that spot every day. But, he lost the match, and while Samoa Joe was leaving the ring, Hook didn't sell it at all. Again, they're trying to build him up like a badass, but it just does not work with that guy's fucking physique. It just doesn't work for me, man. It's like watching Darby Allin no-sell shit. It just does not work for me. Hook, he got up, and they tried to do the whole Jeff Hardy Undertaker spot in 2002 when Jeff Hardy's like, I'm still standing. I'm still standing. And Samoa Joe came in the ring, hit him with another Muscle Buster, but again, Hook no-sold it, which again bugged the fuck out of me. And then Samoa Joe came back in the ring again. He was going to do more damage before Hangman Adam Page came out for the save. He didn't attack Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe bailed out of the ring before he can do that. And Hangman Adam Page is checking on Hook, and this was kind of weird a little tiny bit because you have Swerve Strickland outside in the audience looking like fucking Eddie Murphy from Vampire in Brooklyn, smiling all devious, looking like the fucking devil, reincarnated, looking like Snoop Dogg from Bones, looking head ass nigga. But like he's standing there, and it kind of ruins the whole moment because Samoa Joe's backing up. Obviously, he's trying to sell the distance between him and Hangman Adam Page and everything, and they're trying to do the whole sympathy thing for Hook, but it's not working because they're cheering for Swerve Strickland. They're doing the whose house? Swerve's house. And they're going back and forth when it's clear that they're trying to build up a sympathy thing for Hook. That's the angle that they're trying to promote, to the extent that Hangman Adam Page had to call him back in the ring. And this is going to be on Botchamania because you can clear as day hear one of the producers outside of the ring. They're like telling Hangman to stand him up and play Hook's music. You can hear that clear as fucking day, which come on now guys, gotta do a little bit better than that. But he stands him up, Hangman Adam Page it is. He stands up Hook, and Hook, he gets the sympathy stuff. I mean, it was kind of weird because he left the ring, then he came back to the ring, and they're trying to play it off as if Hangman called him back in the ring, but I don't remember seeing him do that unless the camera cut away from him before he had the opportunity to do it. I don't know. It was really, really awkward. It was not that good. The finish in the match was fine, but the actual aftermath, the post-match stuff was kind of shit. It really sucked. But, you know, it is what it is. You know, the match is obviously going to be, you know, Hangman Adam Page and Swerve Strickland and Samoa Joe in a triple threat match going into Revolution, which I'm fine with. That's cool for the World Championship. As long as they keep building it up in the way that they're building it up, I'm fine with that. And it just felt good for a goddamn change for tonight to be symbolized with the World Championship. You know, you don't see it very often in AEW. They always have to bury their World Championship. The World Championship is always the mid-card championship. So it was very refreshing to see tonight pretty much focus directly on the world championship. Very, very, very fucking refreshing. It shouldn't be refreshing because that should just be the status quo, but it is what it is, and I will take what I can get with AEW. But overall, the show tonight, it was fine. It was fine. It was a decent show. It was definitely better than the past couple of week shows. That's for damn sure. Not as if that's a high bar that you have to jump, but you know, it was a fine show. I liked it. I liked it a lot. It was a good show. Again, you did have some things throughout the show that kind of irked me a little bit, in particular the matches and how they were devised. I don't understand this whole fucking fetish with just kicking out a wrestler's finishers. The whole point of a finisher is that it's supposed to end the match. If you can't tell a story without having to kick out of your opponent's finisher, that says more about you as a performer than it does about, like, you know, the actual story, if you even want to call it that, for most of the matches tonight, because it just kind of hurts it so much, bro. It's like watching Scar from Lion King, you know, get attacked by the hyenas, and yet, you know, Scar comes back and he still wants to battle Simba. I just fucking hate that shit. If it's gonna be like, the finishing kick out stuff should happen at like a lifetime, and as far as like, you know, how can I put this? If it's gonna happen in one match, it shouldn't happen in another match for like another 25 fucking years. It's how I look at shit. Like, I'd rather a roll-up finish before someone kicking out of someone's finish. I just don't like that at all. And they were doing that throughout the night. But, you know, this was probably one of the more prominent shows as far as character development is considered. You know, they are promoting Revolution. I'll give them props for that. They still have a long fucking way to go, because, man, they have been utter shit. And they're still somewhat cold right now. I still have that kind of feeling of them being cold at the moment, but it's definitely a step in the right direction. I'll give them props for that. But let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. How did you feel about tonight's show? Did you like it? How do you feel about the main event? Did you like the main event? How do you feel about the people building up into Revolution and all that other good shit? Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. As always, my name is Devontae, and I'll be catching you fine folks later. A deuces, and wait for it, boom! No, I'm joking. Another deuces and a PIs. Had to make up for the other deuces to make it up. You get what I'm trying to say. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.